kick it off. Like I said today, we are going to cover mastering the phones. So this is going to be a call that it's automotive because Wednesday's automotive day, but it'll work for any industry. So if you're not in automotive, it's the same dang thing. It's nothing special. Don't try to overcomplicate it, but make sure that you dial into it, because if you master the phone, you're going to master sales in every single way. So listen up real closely. I want you to think about the phone like this. The phone is not a customer service tool. It's not a device that you just answer questions on, and it's definitely not a brochure. The thing is, too many salespeople treat the phone just like that. Is something that helps them out. My lighting is way off. We're going to kill that. So 95% of the automotive industry is using the phone, which is your weapon. They're using it as a weapon to shoot themselves in their own foot every single day. And that's what we want to eliminate. So I was in the automotive industry for about 10 years. I've sold, I've ran dealerships, I've done it all. I know how to handle a CRM. I know what your BDC looks like. And I'm telling you from right now, from coaching hundreds and hundreds of automotive sales professionals, the person who learns to master the phone masters their game. They get their time back. They get their freedom back. They're able to increase their income. So stick around here. So when the phone rings or when you go to make a dial, you have one objective, and that's it. Your objective is you are trying to sell the appointment. You're not selling the car or the product over the phone. You're not selling the price. You're not selling the trade-in value over the phone. All you're doing is selling the appointment. If you give them a price from the get-go, they're going to have no reason to come in and see you. If you just give them the trade value, they're going to shop you. If you answer every single question they have, you've just become an unpaid information booth for the dealership down the street. The average car guy, I know you hate the phone. Why? Because the average car guy sucks on the phone. The average car guy gets on the phone, gets bullied up by the customer, gives away all the information, hangs up, and then complains that the leads are bad. The leads aren't bad. Your skill level sucks. And I'm being a little bit brutal with you because guess what? If you've got a skill set problem and you can't admit it, you're screwed. So your job is to take control of the conversation. Your job is to bypass their defense mechanisms and drive them into the showroom. And you do it through tone, you do it through certainty, and you do it through control. If your tone is weak, you're going to sound like the typical car salesman. If you sound like you're desperate and you need a deal, you're going to get eaten alive. You have to sound like the highest authority in the market. You have to sound like an expert. You have to sound like the man who has 10 appointments lined up that day, and you're doing them a favor by squeezing them in. This is the mindset. Now, let's get to the tactics of a phone call. So let's first start talking about taking inbound phone calls. The customer calls in, they saw a car online, they've got a stock number, and they ask the question every single every single untrained salesperson dreads. It goes something like this. I'm calling about the 2023 Tahoe. Is it still available? And what's your best price? What does the average guy do? Let me go check if we still have it. Yep, looks like we have it. Price is $45,000 online, but if you come in, maybe we could do a little bit better. And then they hang up, they're gone, and you probably already lost the deal. Here's how you can handle it like a professional, the inbound call like a professional. You must immediately take control of that client with a pattern interrupt. When they ask when they ask the availability of the price, you respond with just certainty. Great question. By the way, my name is Jonathan. I'm the manager here at the dealership. Let me check the exact status of that Tahoe for you while my system is pulling up. By the way, what was your first name? It's that dang simple, but it's crazy. I'll teach a line like that over and over again, but people won't use it. You're breaking the pattern of them owning the conversation, them asking question after question. So you've taken control. You gave them a title of authority. Even if you aren't the GM or the manager of the transaction, You validated their question and you immediately asked them a question back. Whoever asks the questions is going to be in control of the conversation. So when they respond, "Hey, my name is Mike." Awesome, Mike. And what's the best phone number if we get disconnected? I know most of us have caller ID, but that question is just to slow it down a little bit. It's to show that you actually care. And then you're securing the power of having the questions. Now, what I like to do a little bit is go a little bit further. Well, I'm waiting for my information to pull up, or I'm waiting for my system to reboot, whatever I use to buy myself 10, 20, 30 seconds, which is really 3 minutes. I'm going to ask a few questions like, "Hey, what part of the valley are you calling from? Or what part of town are you calling from? Oh, perfect. Is this vehicle for you or is it for somebody else? Okay. And have you driven one of these before?" Why am I asking those questions? I'm asking those questions because I sucked at high school. I sucked when any education thing. I would spend more time trying to figure out how to cheat a test than I would just learning the damn information. So by asking those questions, I'm cheating the test to the answer that I want. The answer I want at the end of this test is I want to set an appointment, right? So I'm asking, "What part of town are you calling in from?" That way, in my mind, if they tell me they're 20 minutes away, great. I could set a quick appointment, get them here in 30 minutes. I know it's not that big of a deal. If they tell me they're an hour away, I already know how I'm going to potentially overcome that objection or frame that objection early on so I don't even get it. If they tell me that, "Hey, the car is, for my wife, we're going to be replacing my wife's car," I'm not setting an appointment with just the husband. I'm making sure I'm setting an appointment with both of them so they could both come in and I don't have to deal with the single-legged buyer. So during this pattern interrupt, a lot of my questions are solid, and I'm going and I'm asking it for a specific reason for later on in the conversation. I'm not dialing into it. I'm not trying to overcome it right away. I'm just getting the information. I'm getting the answers to the test. After that, I need to snap back to setting the appointment. So I'm going to use another pattern interrupt. And this is one of the greatest pattern interrupts you can use in life. So if you want to be able to control any conversation, if you want to be able to gain really quick rapport, you need to write this down. Pay the person a genuine compliment. It works on the phone. It works person to person. It works if you're trying to pick someone up at a bar. Pay them a genuine compliment. Meaning, over the phone, it's easy. 9 times out of 10, it's going to sound like something like this. "Mike, hey, I've got great news for you, but first, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you. Super patient guy. Sorry my computer took so dang long to load up right there, but I do appreciate your patience. By the way, I'm super excited to tell you that Tahoe is still currently here. We had a couple appointments on it yesterday, but it hasn't sold just yet. If you want to come take a look at it, hey, I've got time for you and your wife, 2:15 or 4:45 later today. Which one works best?" And you're just going with it. Then you'll get a time and then you'll go a little bit deeper into it. But notice, you didn't talk about the price. You actually bypassed the price entirely and went straight for setting the appointment. Now, you acknowledged the price early on, so you didn't completely bypass it. Then you use the pattern interrupt to get off the train of price. Because Mike sees the dang price online. Mike sees the price wherever the vehicle is advertised. So he already knows the price. Mike is just looking for someone that's certain that they can help him out with the vehicle and that the vehicle is still freaking there. So, but what if Mike pushes back a little bit? Because I don't want to make this one of these calls where it's like, this is going to work 100% of the time, because it's not. It's going to work 95%. I counted. Well, let's talk about the 5% that's going to give you a little pushback, and we still want to be able to close. So Mike hits you with, "Well, yeah, but I'm not coming in until I know the price." This is where a weak salesperson will fold. And this is where you've got to stand your ground a little bit. So it's, "Mike, hey, dude, I completely understand. The price is clearly listed online to ensure that you get the most, or that we are the most competitive in the market. But let me ask you a question. Are you just looking to get a price, or are you looking to get the absolute best deal possible on a vehicle that fits for you and your family?" "Well, I want the best deal." Nine out of 10 people are going to say, "I want the best deal." Exactly. And I can't give you the best deal over the phone without seeing your trade, understanding your finances, making sure this Tahoe's even the right fit. Look, Mike, I'm not the guy who's just here to sell you the car. I'm the guy who's here to get the deal done. So I've got the 215 and 445 available today. Would either of those work for you and your family? It's simple. Just go for the appointment again. You reframe the price objection into a value proposition. Then you make yourself an asset, and then just tell them, I'm the guy that gets stuff done. Your confidence, the customer will buy into. Never negotiate against yourself over the phone. Never give them a number they can use against you and shop other dealers in town. How many of you have gone automotive or whatever you sell, you give a number over the phone, and all of a sudden you're going back and forth 14 freaking times? It's brutal. It will cost you an entire day of just responding to text messages and emails and dodged phone calls. Sell the appointment, sell your expertise, and sell the urgency. That's what the phone is for. So let's move on. Let's talk about the trade-in trap and some advanced objection stuff, just for a little bit. So here's the inbound trap of the trade value. What will you give me for my, 18 F-150, whatever the vehicle is? If you give them a number, you are dead. If you give them a range, you are dead. If you say Kelly Blue Book says, you're dead. You must weaponize their trade. Mike, this is a great truck. In fact, my used car director is desperately looking for 2018 F-150s for our front line right now. We're paying absolute top dollar over market value for clean trucks like yours, but I can't appraise your vehicle over the phone. I need my director to put his hands on it, drive it, and see how well you took care of it so we can write you the biggest check possible. If I have my appraiser available, 215 or 445, can you bring the truck down and we'll get you maximum value on it? You don't give a number, you just build excitement. Put a third party in there, a reason that they can continue to come in and get extra value. And here's the thing. If early in the phone call you did a really good job on that slow down pattern interrupt, you might have some additional ammunition. Oh, well, what are you driving now? Have you ever driven one of these? Okay, what are you driving now? Oh, an 18? Are you potentially considering trading that in? Oh, beautiful truck. Tell me real quick, we got a couple seconds here. Tell me a little bit about your truck. How often do you drive it? What type of trips it is? What is the condition like? Beautiful. I'm not talking to them. I'm not, oh, we're going to have to get that fixed. Oh, that's going to suck. Oh, that. I'm just getting information to the test later. So when I use this line to rewrap for the appointment, I could literally just tell them what they told me back to them as additional value of why you need to bring this truck in. Because a lot of times people love their vehicles. They don't exactly want to get rid of them. They have an emotional connection. They've had them for 3 or 4 years. So they start talking about it a little bit. And I'm going to use that information to tell them that's why my director needs to see it, because that's how we're going to get the absolute best value for your vehicle. Because otherwise what happens is we use our system. It's very similar to KBB. It scans the market condition reports, blah, 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 gives you a bunch of average numbers. Now, I don't know about you, but I know everybody I know is either slightly above or slightly below average. No one's at the perfect line. So to give you an accurate number, there's no way to do it over the internet. I'm just guessing. And the last thing I want to do is I would rather lose a customer than give you the wrong number by accident, have you come in and us adjust it, or even worse, we agree on a number, your truck is in way better condition, and we shortchange you a couple $1,000. Either way, it's a lose-lose if I'm just throwing numbers on a freaking wall for both of us. But I've got to say it emotionally. I've got to have some tie-in. I've got to have some energy into it. So let's talk a little bit about advanced objections. What happens when the customer says, I'm just shopping around and I'm not ready to buy yet? Okay, one, mentally, just don't believe that crap. Just say, bullshit. Bullshit. Nobody in the history of time has ever picked up the phone and dialed an automotive dealership just to talk to a salesman. People hate talking to a salesman until a salesman sells them, and then we're their best freaking friend. So get it out of your mind that people are just shopping around getting it. They're calling you for a reason. So here's how the pro's going to handle this. Mike, hey, I completely understand. Most of my clients are just gathering information when they first call. But let me ask you, if I could find you the exact vehicle you want at the payment that fits your budget perfectly and give you more money than your trade's worth, you probably want to know what that looks like. Am I right? Bam. I just freaking threw out the line. I'm waiting for him to bite. I'm just waiting in the water for him to bite, and then I'm going to reel it in. Mike probably is going to say, well, yeah, no shit. That's exactly what I'm looking for, dude. Yeah, everybody is. Holy crap, how did we get here? Exactly. That's why I need to have you here, Mike. I'm not asking you to buy a car today. I'm asking for about 15 minutes to show you why we are the #1 dealership in the state. And if the numbers don't make sense, we shake hands, you leave with all the information. So I've got that 215 and I've got that 445. Which one works better for you? So if you see when I'm continuously trying to set these appointments, you can hit me with objections all freaking day. And I'm going to continue to smile. I'm going to continue to overcome them. And I'm going to continue to have fun. I'm going to continue to pour in. I'm going to continue to get value. I'm going to continue to try to get you to laugh. And eventually my persistence will win. And let's just be real. If it doesn't, probably not the guy or gal that I really want to work with. Because that's going to be the person that comes in and argue or wants to go back and forth 18 times. And then they settle on a price. And then a week later, they're not even happy because something with the car. Because they bought the Elantra SE instead of the SEL. And they don't have this feature. And they don't have that feature that they want. It's like, no crap. You wanted the car that was $15,999 for a brand new Elantra. You got the roll-up windows. I put those special for you. They don't even make it anymore. And you're still disappointed. So that's just how I look at it. I want to get everybody on this call, everybody listening to me, to the point in sales where they can be a little bit selective, where they can actually tell a customer, no, I don't need your business. I don't want to work with you. You don't sound like a great person. I'm just giving you a number that I'm making up, probably 3 or 4 people a week I say that to in a much more nicer, passive way. Like, I'm not a complete douchebag. I mean, I have been before. I'm not going to lie. But there's quite a few people I'll get on a phone call with. I'm like, look, you look like you could actually use our product. You look like you could do this training. You look like you come out to this event. But honestly, Jeff, I don't think it's going to be right for you, man. You just don't seem like you meet what our core values are about. This seems like it's all about this, this, and this for you. And why do I do that? Because I don't want to have someone come out to an event. I know half of you, I'm looking at this call right now, half of you know who the heck I am and have been out to our events before. I don't want you to come out to Scottsdale, Arizona or Tampa, wherever we are. And I don't want to have a conversation with you if I don't enjoy being around you. And if you don't meet what we're about. Because for those of you that have been out to Andy's events before, you know that they're a heck of a lot more than just sales training. You know they're a heck of a lot more than working some word tracks. You know they're going to go a lot deeper. So if your mind is young in sales, I like to say young in sales, and you're just, because we were all here, and we were just 100% focused on how do I make more money? How do I make more money? How do I make more money? And you're not ready for that next level of how do I become a better freaking person all around? Coming out to the event might not be great for you at this time. Or it might be, but you've got to have an open mind that you're willing to change. That's essentially the same thing I want for every one of you, whether you're selling cars, trucks, SUVs, insurance, solar, SaaS sales, roofing sales, like whatever type of sales, or maybe you're on this call and you're not even in sales. I see one person that's not even in sales on this call right now. I just want you to freaking be able to go out and create a life by design that you want to live. I want you to be able to say no to situations and people that you don't want to be around and say yes to more of where you're looking to go. But it comes from one, you've got to have the confidence. You've got to know how to speak. You've got to know how to put yourself in the right room. So, let's move on to another one. Let's get back on track. Little ramble in there. So here's another one that comes up a lot in any type of sales where you're trying to set an appointment is you're going to hear, hey, I live an hour away. I live 2 hours away. I don't want to drive that far unless I have the deal. Once again, first thing in my mind that goes, bullshit. Have fun. You got to get some protein. It's probably not the best drink while I'm on a live Zoom call. It's going to make my spit all nasty, but I'm out of water. Finished my C4. It's a bad day. I'm on 911 right now. So seriously, when I say that, the first thing that comes into my mind is bullshit. is because that's the first thing I do anytime someone hits me with an objection. Is I've been selling long enough where I don't care about the BS that comes out of your mouth, where I literally just smile and laugh in the back of my head. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just going to have a conversation with you then. Because I don't want to get triggered by it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people. I'm actually being respectful by not buying into their bullshit. Let's just be real. I'm being more respectful by not buying into their BS. Because I truly believe as a salesperson or as a coach, whatever, I'm operating at that time, that I'm the damn best. I really believe that about myself. I really believe you got a hold of me for a dang reason, and I'm your best opportunity. And if I get the sense on a phone call that I'm not, I just turn the dang call. Same concept. If I don't click with you, I don't want to hang out with you. It's hard on me. It's hard on you. You're not going to get the best results. So I believe everybody that I'm talking to, have the best opportunity to help them overcome X. So if you give me an objection, I think it's bullshit. I don't believe it. I think you're just saying words because words fill your day and make you feel great. And have fun. Smile. You know how weird it is, especially face to face, when someone gives you an objection and you smile and they're like, what the heck is wrong with this person? It's like, dude, you can't take me down. You can't break my soul. Eventually that infectious energy will wear off on them and they will like it. I promise you. It's weird. It might be crazy brain, whatever, some mental, I don't know. But it freaking works. So when Mike wants to tell you he's an hour away, 2 hours away, unless he says 6+ hours, I'm going to figure out how to have such a good deal that he wants to buy the dang car and come in. I'm just kidding. Maybe at 2.5, I'll start getting a little creative. But anything under 2, your butt's driving in. Mike, the fact that you live an hour away is exactly why you need to come here. Holy crap. He's telling me it's exactly why he does it. I'm going to tell him it's exactly why he needs to come here. My local customers come here because it's convenient. My out-of-town customers come here because I make deals happen that no one else will even touch. And I promise you, I will make this drive worth it to you and your family. When can you get here? I'll open my schedule up a little bit more because I know it's going to be a little bit more on you and your family. Remember, every single objection on an inbound call is handled the exact same way. Acknowledge, bypass, build value, close appointment. Or acknowledge, respond, pivot. They're the same dang techniques with different freaking words, but it's the same psychology. It's the same word flow. It's the same phrases over and over again. But the biggest thing is, I'm telling you, with any objection, is have fun with it. When people hit you an objection, trick your mind. Most people are like, oh crap, that's a hurdle I have to overcome. That's something that I have to do. Hang on, I'm getting hot. Now I'm sweating. That's something that I've got to deal with now. That's something that's going to slow this deal down. That's something that's going to cost my family and I money, blah, blah, blah. That's where a lot of people get screwed up in objections, and they immediately make the objection about them. They immediately make it about how is it going to affect me. So if you could just simply take one thing from this call, it would be to reframe yourself. When someone gives you an objection, get happy, get excited. Why? Because an objection is all they're saying is, I don't want to hang up on you just yet, but I need you to give me a little bit more information. I like you enough. I want to hear a little bit more from you. That's all they're saying. And maybe they're saying the complete opposite, but just keep lying to yourself and think of it that way. And I promise you, if you rewire how your mind perceives an objection, it becomes so much easier. The fear, the anxiety, the, oh my gosh, what do I say? It stops. I mean, hell, Angelo's on this call. Half of his objections, I just tell him to quit being a little bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure I've said it at least once to him. But the reason I have a relationship like that with him is because we've had a real call. Our first sales call wasn't like completely, hey, you want to buy this shit? No, it was like, dude, tell me about yourself. What are you going through? This and that. And then all of a sudden, I think, gosh, his first product he did was $197, $197. Then he sees that we're going out to Iowa or Ohio or one of those weird states that I don't know about. So he sees we're going out there. It's cold as hell. He's like, hey, dude, I want to come. Goes out there. And he's like, holy crap, man. This is different, but this is exactly what I freaking needed. Great. We get him to Scottsdale. He's coming back to Scottsdale. And it changed his life. But it wasn't just a simple, hey, dude, you want to do this? You want to do that? Blah, blah, blah. It was like, what what are you going through, man? Tell me about it. And I'll tell you this. I won't tell you what we talk about because, I do respect people a little bit to have some sort of, you know, secrecy. I don't know what the hell the word's called. But like 90% of what him and I talk about have nothing to do with sales now. Like maybe 10% we'll talk about sales, but 90% is everything but sales. Yet it's, for the most part, helped in his freaking sales. It's freaking crazy. But you wouldn't get to know that about somebody unless you get to the emotional buying habits of them. Car sales is the exact same thing. Start thinking of yourself as a coach for the person. I know there's so many people that watch us, watch Andy, watch my content that are like, dude, I would love to be a coach. I would love to work for you guys. Quit freaking thinking about that and start coaching in your own dang business because you have the opportunity to. You're just coaching clients to help them make a decision, give them the confidence that they need, that they already want. Like I said, no one in the history of time has walked on a car dealership or made a call to a dealership. I know you're going to tell, but there's that one 80-year-old man that comes every Saturday for a call. Okay, I get it. That guy. That one guy is weird. Every dealership has one of them. So other than that one old man, everybody else that calls a dealership, goes to a dealership, walks into a sales org, has a big hole in their roof, doesn't have life insurance, and has a family, whatever their pain is, they want a salesperson. They want someone to be able to coach them to a decision that they need to and want to make for their own reasons, but they need a coach to give them the confidence to make that decision, to help them overcome any objection that's holding them back in life. So quit being salesmen and saleswomen. Start being coaches. Screw that product advisor bullshit. Screw that internet manager bullshit. It's a made-up title. It means nothing. Your job as a high-level salesperson is to be a coach, is to help coach people from where they're at to where they want to go and fill the frickin' bridge. So welcome. You just joined the damn team. All right, where am I at? I think I got a drip here. The problem with going to the gym in the morning is you're completely dehydrated when you do a 9 a.m. call. So let's move on to outbound calls. And we're going to see if I can maintain my voice for 30 more minutes. So this is where the men are going to separate themselves from the boys, or women from the girls, just so people don't get mad at me later. Anyone can answer a damn ringing phone. They really can. Hey, how can I help you? And if you answer enough of those calls, someone's going to eventually say yes to your crap. But it takes a true warrior to pick up a heavy phone, dial a lead that's been dead for 90 days, and pull an appointment out of thin air. But it will separate people because that's what you got to be doing. There's 3 things you got to be doing in any sales org. 3 things. And this is one of the things that Andy has been saying since day one of the Elliott Group, and we still say to this day. We've changed, we've grown, we've adapted a lot, but this one has stayed true. When you're in sales, you're either looking for someone to sell to, you're actively selling to that somebody, or you're getting better at one of the other 3 skills. If you're doing anything else, you're cheating on your future. You're cheating on, if you got a family and kids at home, you're cheating on your wife and kids while you're at work screwing off. You're cheating your own freaking life. So this is one area that separates people, is being able to make those outbound phone calls. Because most dealerships, most sales orgs, you're going to have some downtime. You're going to have some time where you need to fill the freaking day and you need to prospect. So this is what separates people. And it's crazy. I caught some of my old salespeople. I was GM. When I was a GM of one of our Hyundai stores, we had, I think it was 50 calls I had, 50 or 75. I don't remember. But that's all the dials, not even calls, dials that my salespeople had to make. And I found a list because I was looking through it one day and I'm like, I recognize these numbers too much. Like, this is weird. I don't usually recognize phone numbers. I had a handful of salespeople that literally would start dialing after 5. They would dial to 5 to 7 to hit their 50, 75 calls. And it was a list of a bunch of businesses that closed at 5. And they would dial the same list every single day. And I was like, you guys are absolutely pathetic. And then I've done a lot of like sales calls, auditing, stuff like this. You wouldn't be surprised how many people, and maybe you're on this call, and this will wake you up a little bit, are terrified to make an outbound call. And they literally dial the phone and they hang up before the person even says hello. First, second ring, hang up. Like, it's crazy how much fear we have in an outbound phone call. So let's fix that today. Let's give you a little bit of tactical knowledge so you can have some confidence on an outbound phone call and you don't sound like the typical rep of like, hey, this is Jonathan from ABC Nissan. You were here 26 years ago, and I want to see if you still drive cars. Like, you sound like an idiot if you're saying crap like that. Like, you're just giving no value. I know you're about to try to sell me some crap. So most, what I'm saying there is most salespeople treat outbound calls like a chore. They call, and in the back of their mind, they're really hoping the customer doesn't answer. And then if they're really bad, then they leave a pathetic, weak voicemail. They log into the CRMs because it all tracks, and so the managers think they're doing their job because, most managers are too busy and too lazy to actually check. And yeah, sounds something like this. Hey, Mike, it's Jonathan down at ABC Nissan. I'm just calling to see if you're still in the market. Give me a call back. Delete, delete, delete. Right? Because if I'm looking for a car, I've probably got 6 salespeople doing the exact same thing. So I just get really good at deleting them. And the coolest thing today on like the new iPhone where it transcribes your messages, I think Android does it as well. Android, I know, probably did it first, but iPhone's still better, so screw off. But real talk, it transcribes the message. So if I'm looking at my voicemails, I don't even listen to voicemails anymore. So even if you say that and you sound like the most energetic guy in the world and you have infectious energy, it doesn't matter. I just read the words and I go, nope, delete, don't want to talk to you, right? So you've got to bring, especially in today's world, you've got to bring more value. Don't sound like a telemarketer. Don't sound like you have absolutely no value to give the customer. When you make an outbound call, you must have a hook that demands attention. You must have a reason for calling that creates immediate urgency. So write that down. Outbound calls, a badass hook that demands attention, and I've got to create some urgency. So let's say you're calling an internet lead from 2 or 3 days ago that ghosted you. Probably 3 or 4 days ago that ghosted you. Ring, ring, you hear hello, right? It's Mike. Cool, I got him. I tricked him. I called him from a different number. He picked up. We're good. Mike, it's Jonathan down at the dealership. Did you buy a car today? And just say some stupid stuff. Or you could say the opposite. Mike, I just want to say, do not buy a car today. Mike's going to go, what? How many of you that have been in auto sales have ever called and that's where you start? Do not buy a car today. What? It's a pattern interrupt. I'm trying to get his brain to start thinking and go, what's going on? I need something a little bit different. And then after you make a comment like that, pause and let it sit. Let him just, let it land with him a little bit. What did I just do? The pattern interrupt. Every other guy is asking him, are you ready to buy? And I just told him not to buy. His brain literally has to stop and process, what the hell did I just say? Because he already knows how to process. Do you want to come buy my shit we already talked about? You didn't want to buy 2 days ago? He knows how to process that. Nope, not interested. Sorry, bye. Nope, I'm in a meeting. Got to go. Like, he knows what to say. He's already worked his objection handlers. As a customer, he knows how to handle your objections better than you know how to handle his. He's ready. So what if I say something like, hey, Mike, don't buy a car today? And he's, what? Mike, I'm looking at your file right now. I know you were looking at those Tahoes just a few days ago. The reason I'm calling you with such urgency today is my GM just authorized a massive push to hit our month-end numbers early. We are doing things right now that we have never done before on the Tahoe inventory. If you're still in the market, I need you to hold off on doing anything until you see what I can put together for you later today. Now, real quick, before we go any further, are you still looking for a Tahoe or did you settle for something else? I threw some urgency in there. I threw a little bit of fun in there. I'm actually calling like, holy crap, I'm excited too. Here's the difference. And I review a lot of these calls. If I get on a call and I'm like, hey, Mike, this is Jonathan. Yeah, my general manager. Yeah, we just got some additional funds and we're offering more for trades. And does it sound like any of that's real? No. Mike, holy crap. You haven't bought the car yet? Okay, good. Hold off for a day or two. I've got something crazy for you. My general manager just did something that we've never done before. Rather than pushing to the end of the month and trying to, make our entire month happen in a week, he called us all in today and said, you know what? Those month-end discounts that we did last month, apply them to the Tahoes right now. Let's get ahead of the market and let's win this freaking month. So, Mike, before you do anything else, I have got to get you down here to take a look at this and see what we can do for you. I don't even know. He might be getting fired. I don't know. But Mike, real quick, are you still looking at the Tahoes, or do you settle for something else? You got to have that energy. You got to have that fun. That'll sell. So you've created urgency, scarcity, and then you pulled a takeaway. Did you settle for anything else? No man wants to admit that he settled. So those words that I use there, those are like one of the phrases that you have to use verbatim. Don't say, did you buy something else? Because that's a good thing. Heck yeah, I did. Even if they lie to you, they're okay admitting that. But did you settle? Kind of hurts, doesn't it? Because if I ask you if you settled in your relationship, did you settle for your job? Did you settle for this? It kind of hurts. So I'm going to use that same language. Did you settle for something else? If he says he's still in the market, you immediately transition to the appointment close. Perfect. I am going to work up a freaking scenario, Mike, that's going to blow you away. I have a 4:15 and a 6:15 available for you to come review it. Which one works better for you? Cool. Set the dang appointment. Have some fun. Now, you're asking me, but you mentioned 90-day leads. Like, yeah, that's where you're going to make a lot of money. That's where you're going to pull stuff out, because the 90-day lead, you can find people that want to buy. You just have to reignite that fire. You have to reignite that, hey, it didn't work 90 days ago, but maybe it'll work today. You've got to find it. So here's how I'm handling a 90-day lead. We're going back to Mike. So Mike been ghosting me for 2.5 months, rolls through the CRM, 90-day check-in, whatever. Shoot Mike a call. Mike picks up his damn phone. Mike, Jonathan Roberts here at ABC Nissan. Hey, listen, my used car director just handed me a list of vehicles that we are desperately looking to acquire this week for our pre-owned inventory. And your 2018 Ford F-150 is on the top of that list. Now, I know you were looking a few months ago, but right now we're paying absolute premium to buy these vehicles. By any chance, do you still have that 2018 Ford F-150? Oh, thank Mike. You just won the freaking lottery. Holding off 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, might have been the best thing you do. Mike, if I could get 15 minutes of your time, I'd like to show you what my used car director is willing to pay for that vehicle. Do you have availability at 2:15 or 4:45 this afternoon that you could bring it by? These calls could be that dang simple. Now, here's the thing. If I get a bite on something this simple, I'm going to set the appointment, and then I'm going to spend a couple minutes building rapport. I'm not going to talk about their car. Don't get into that trap of talking about the car, what they want next, what they blah, blah, blah. Then you're selling a car over the phone. I might talk about the family. I might talk about where they're coming in from town. I'm just trying to build some rapport. So one, I set a more solid appointment, and they actually show. And two, I just have something to talk about when they get in. And how do I do that? One, when they bite, I'm going to then use a pattern interrupt. Hey, cool, 4:15 will work. Let me just get on my used car manager's schedule. His live schedule is reloading right now. Give me 30 seconds. It'll be right up. I'll secure you with him. By the way, while we wait, what part of town are you calling from? One question I might ask is, hey, 90 days ago, I know you were looking. Did something happen? Did you decide to go a different route? Was it blah, blah, blah? I'm going to try to get reasons why things didn't happen. I'm not going to dive into them. I'm not going to try to overcome them on the phone. I'm just going to reassure him that it's going to be a complete different experience, but I'm focused on the experience of the trade value. I'm not even really talking too much about what they want. Because when they come in, they throw me the keys, I do a trade appraisal, I run it to my desk, then I'm going to say, hey, Mike, just curious, if Dan comes out here and he gives you a number for that vehicle and you're like, dude, there's no way in hell you're paying me that. He goes, yeah, man, we really need this. Just hypothetically, Mike, what would you be driving away in today? Is it something newer, or is it something bigger, something smaller, gets better fuel economy? What does it look like? And then just shut up and let them fantasize. And you go, hey, let me go check on that. You go check on that. You grab the keys to something that they'd like. You go run. You pull it up. Hey, Mike, he's got a couple of minutes. Come with me real quick. Then you're just going into the sales process. This is where you're going to get those 5, 6, 7, 10 extra deals a month. And remember, if you're not in auto sales, it's the same dang thing for insurance. It's the same dang thing for anything you're doing over the phone. Just have some fun with it. So remember, you aren't calling to sell them a car. You're calling to buy their car. Flip the script a little bit on him. Once he's in the door, You appraise the car, and then you're going to pivot, just like I said, over to the new vehicle. So let's talk a little bit about follow-up, because I know follow-up we're all afraid to do. We don't know what to say. We don't know how to follow up. We get lost a lot with it. So let's talk about follow-up. So fortune, truly, big numbers in sales is built in the follow-up. But most salespeople follow up like they're begging for a handout. Mike, just checking in with you. Just checking base, dude. Following up on that Tahoe. It's weak. It's what every other single salesperson in the history of sales has said. They've heard it before. It has absolutely no value. And every single touch point must provide value. Every single call must have a reason. If you're calling a customer who left without buying, you don't ask them if they made a decision or whatever. Because guess what? They're going to call you if they make a decision. They really will. They will call or text you, hey, dude, I think we're ready to go, right? So if they haven't done that, they haven't made a decision. So don't ask them to think about the decision they already haven't made and remind them that they haven't made a decision yet. That makes no sense. You have to call with an update of information, an update of value, an update of something. Might sound like, hey, Mike, Jonathan calling. Listen, I was just in my GM's office fighting for your freaking deal. He just authorized a program that completely changes the math on this Tahoe. I don't know how long he's going to let me run with this, but I need to get you back in here today for 10 minutes so I can show you what I just pulled off. Does 415 or 615 work, Mike? Hey, Mike, by the way, I just got in. I know you were in Saturday. My used car director was actually out at the, ASU game that night, so he wasn't actually on ground. I told him about your trade. He thinks he could get you a little bit more for it, but he needs to see it in person because he says it sounds too damn clean for him not to view it. Mike, he's going to be in here until about 8 tonight. I have availability at 4:15 and 6:15 on his calendar right now. Which one of those works better for you? And I know we can get you that additional money you were looking for there. Just something of value that you're giving him. You've got to become the hero. You went to bat for them. You created new reasons for them to return. Now, does that mean that you have to give them more money? Absolutely not. Don't promise anything because I don't want you to lie to customers. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to get a second swing. And here's the reality of it. Most dealerships, if you bring them back in, they're going to get you another nickel at least. The thing is, most salespeople don't even go fight for that nickel. And we all know as a salesperson, if you could do that follow-up call, that person coming back in just to reeval the trade or whatever it is, that's only a 20-minute deal. So yeah, you might lose $500,000 of the gross profit, but you're getting another number, you're getting a little bit, and you're losing $500 for an hour of time at the most. You've already got the paperwork, you've already prepped everything. Mike says he's coming in. You assume the deal is going to happen. So while you're waiting for Mike to come in, you've got all the documents together because when Mike gets in, you want to use this time fast. Bam, bam, Mike, guess what? Hey, dude, you like the number? Great. You don't have time right now? Awesome. I already actually prepped everything for you, so we don't have to spend 3 hours here. And you just get it done. So what if the client doesn't answer and they're dodging your calls and you just have to leave a voicemail? Your voicemail strategy has got to change. Stop leaving the 45-second voicemail explaining everything. The goal of the voicemail is not to inform them. The goal of the voice mail is to generate a call back. You have to leave a voicemail that's got some like mystery and urgency, giving them reason to call you back. So what does that sound like? Mike, Jonathan here at the dealership. Hey, I've got some massive news regarding that Tahoe you were looking at. Don't do anything until we speak. Call me back immediately, 503-830-9773. Look forward to hearing from you. Short, urgent, mysterious. Or try the cutoff voicemail. This one's fun. Mike, Jonathan here. Hey, listen, the reason I'm calling you with such urgency today, click it off. Get them to call you back. I guarantee you Mike is calling you back in 3 minutes. Because here's the thing. It's psychology. Human beings cannot stand an open loop. Seriously, if I'm telling you a story, or what if I was teaching you the best sales. Patrick Bet-David actually did this perfect. Here's a prime example, just popped in my head. This is one of the best ways PPD generated some leads on stage. Now, Andy's good. Andy drops his phone number, but PPD got really creative one day. So PPD, I forget exactly what the presentation was. It was a keynote at one of his insurance events, and he only had an hour or 45 minutes or something. So his entire thing was like the 10 things that are going to change your life and change your insurance or whatever the hell it was. It doesn't even matter. And he's going and he's freaking ripping, and they're getting bigger and bigger and better every time he goes. And then he gets to 8, and then he runs out of time. And he goes, hey, I'm sorry. I'm running out of time down here. If you want to know the last 2, come find one of me or my guys later. We're going to be sticking around. Y'all have a great day. Bah, cool. He created this open loop that people needed into because he had already got him interested. He'd already got him fired up, and then he left them. And he said that day his team was talking to people the entire time. Everybody wanted to know what the last 2 steps were. There were no last 2 steps. I mean, there were, but they didn't actually matter. What mattered was creating a conversation. What mattered was creating interest. What mattered was leaving that loop open because people wanted to end it. They wanted to shut it down. So same technique there. Just hang up mid voicemail. Hey, it's Jonathan here at ABC Nissan. I have some urgent news for you. Click. Watch how many more return calls you get. All right. So Mike's going to call you back. And when he does, just hit him with whatever it is. End of month urgency. Hey, my general manager's trying to get us ahead right now. Whatever it is. But here's the thing. You've got to be savages on the phones. You cannot take rejection personally. If they hang up on you, dial the next number. If they tell you they bought a car, say congratulations and for shits and giggles, ask for a referral. Just have fun. Have fun. Don't get shit out on the phone. Mike, congratulations, dude, on the new ride. Hey, since you just went through the process, you probably know somebody else who's in the market right now. Who do you know that I can help next? Whatever. Just ask for it. You might get 1 out of 100, 1 out of 50. But if you're going to make 50 phone calls, you might as well get an extra number occasionally. It takes 10 extra seconds. Never let a call end without asking for the next piece of business. Whether it's a referral, whether it's somebody else in the family, whatever it is. So I want to close with this today. You can have all the word tracks. You can know exactly how to handle price objections. You can know exactly how to flip a trade-in. You can know the best pattern interrupts in history, but none of that really freaking matters if you don't have the discipline to pick up the phone. If the phone is heavy and your mindset is weak, the industry is going to chew you up and spit you out because you're only going to rely on walk-in traffic. The guys who are making 20, 30, even 50,000 a month in the car business, they're not waiting for the be-back bus. They're not standing by the front door, smoking a cigarette, waiting for someone to walk into the lot. They're in the CRM. They're hunting. They're dialing. So you have to establish a daily integrity matrix with yourself. What is your number? How many outbound dials are you going to make every single day, no matter what? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 150? Here's one of my favorites that I had one of our salespeople do. His number was 150 dials if he didn't sell a car. Every car he sold was 50 dials off. Now, he would never not do 50 dials though, because once you do 0, you kind of let your pipeline dry up. So if he would sell 2 cars, he only had 50 dials that day. If he sold 3 cars, he would still have 50. If he sold 1 car, he would still have to make 100 dials that day. And then it created a habit. The guy now is selling on average low to mid 30s every single month. When I started working with him, or he started working with Andy, I should say, about, what was it? It was Christmas 2 years ago? Yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, the dude was like struggling to sell 8 freaking cars. He's making 350, almost 400 grand a year this last year. And it's his consistency. It's doing what he knows he needs to do, even when he doesn't feel like. It's having a standard for himself. 6 days a week, 150 dials, 1 car sold, less 50 dials. Your phone is going to be your lifeline to wealth. Your phone is going to be your lifeline to freedom. Every time you pick up that phone, you're fighting a war for your family's future. So stop being afraid of rejection. Rejection isn't going to pay your mortgage. Rejection is not going to feed your kids or put them in school. Whew. You've got to want to win so damn bad. You've got to want it for yourself. You've got to want it for your family, and it's going to have to hurt. So take control of the call, bypass the objections, sell the appointments, and just never stop dialing. All right, what time is it? 9:50. Do we have any questions? If you got a question, do the little hand raising thing. Dustin, what do you got, my man? And I'm lowering my
So
nose.
I sell health insurance and life insurance. So when people are making these outbound calls, these dial sessions, who are they calling? Is it just out of a CRM, or are they just like pulling numbers out of a phone book, or
It's
where are all these like numbers to call coming from? I'm just sort of curious.
You're talking from like automotive? Mostly automotive, or people that are showed interest in buying a car in the last 6 months or something, or recent leads. I know a few guys that have straight cold called for automotive. I think there's better ways to do it. Dealerships out there generate enough leads that if you don't have any leads and you're cold calling, go to a different dealership. But real talk, most dealerships have a CRM, some sort of list that you can get. If you've been doing it for anything longer than 6 months and you track your people at all, you should have a list of people that you can constantly be hitting every day. So there's a million ways to get it. With the insurance game, I mean, it's the same dang thing. I know you guys are self-employed for the most part. You know, some agencies do provide leads, but most of it's kind of a 1099 self-employment contractor situation. So you've got to buy leads. And when you're buying leads, when you're new and you're broke and things are hard, you got to buy the cheap leads. The cheap leads are, you know, leads that are 90 days old, and you're buying them for 25 cents a lead instead of $25 a lead. And you kind of just got to work your way up through that. And the biggest thing is, I mean, for the insurance guys, I mean, you guys have it the best. Your numbers are easy to hit. 300 or so dials a day, 400 dials a day. Like, just insane amount of dials a day until you can get it flowing. Because when you're buying cheap leads, it's all about volume. Because some of them, you're looking for the diamond in the rough, essentially. Now, that doesn't mean like you want to be able to connect with people. You want to be able to have good conversations. You want to be better than the last 10 people they said no to. But at the same time, like, you're buying leads, some of them might have bought, some of them might be so pissed off they're never going to buy, some of them might have realized they don't need life insurance. So you're looking for people that, hey, are 90 days, 6 months old. You're trying to get the spark back in them. But yeah, I mean, there's everywhere. You can hunt social media, hunt purchase leads. And then the thing is, like, a lot of insurance guys purchase leads. They call them for a week and then they assume they're all dead. That's the silliest thing ever. Keep that on them. What else do we got? Did that answer your question, Dustin?
Yeah, it did. Like, my company provides me some leads, but my district leader doesn't like us calling them. They fucking make us go to them. So sometimes they're out of town and we just sort of like roll up on them, and all of our leads are like existing customers, where we try to build referrals from them or get them to buy some other shit.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if you go in person, especially if it's an existing customer, you'll have a little bit better there. But at the same time, if you go there and you can't get a hold of them, you know, I'd freaking call them. Not as my first line of opportunity, though. Definitely the in-person's a little bit stronger, so I'd stick with that. Angelo, what's up, my man?
This is the last thing, man. If I can just overcome this, how do I just hit that dial button? How do I just do it? Dial, call.
That's what I told you earlier, dude. Don't be a bitch.
Anyway,
like,
thank you.
No, real talk though. It's you're paralyzing yourself. Okay, so here's the thing about dialing that you could just tell yourself you're going to get told no more than you get told yes. So I don't care how good you are. If you're doing warm calls or cold calls, you're going to get told no more than you get told yes. Now, the person who gets told no a bunch and lets it shit out their entire life and their shit out their entire day is kind of a little bitch. So just be ready to get told no a bunch. Now, don't use that as an excuse of, oh, I don't need to get better at my skill set, or I don't need to, learn how to be a little bit more entertaining on the phone. But just understand the phone game. You're going to lose more than you win. And that's what professionals do. If you think like the guys in the NFL, NBA, NHL, like the professional top tier leagues of professional sports win more than they lose, you're freaking crazy. You just didn't see all the times they lost. You didn't see the times they were playing Pop Warner football or middle school or high school football and they were taking a sack, or they were throwing the ball to the complete wrong person, or they threw the pick, or they couldn't remember the dang drill, whatever it is. We didn't see all that time, because the only time as humans we want to actually watch people is we want to watch and get our rocks off by seeing people win. Nobody wants to see, unless you're like a woman and you like Hallmark movies, nobody wants to watch an entire like movie of someone just getting their butt kicked the whole time. Now, I guess movies are a little different because, you know, they inspire and the pain and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they come out and they're the king of London or whatever at first or at the end. But like, we like to see humans performing at their highest level. It's not fun to watch someone lose if you don't have a guarantee they're going to win. Has anyone ever seen like Old Yeller? And like, does anyone watch Old Yeller, that movie, like once a year just because it's such a great movie? No, you watched Old Yeller once and you're like, this is the most depressing shit I have ever seen. And the only time you watch Old Yeller is like when you have a severe breakup or something and you just want to like put a knife deeper into your freaking chest and feel the pain. Because we know Old Yeller doesn't end in a good place. We know it's kind of sad. Now there's a lot more, you could dive deeper into that and see why it's happy and blah, blah, blah. But the reason we watch most movies is because the only reason we're willing to put up with the sadness and the breakup and whatever the hell happened in that movie is because we know in the end it's going to be a fairy tale wedding. We like to watch people win. We don't like to hear how hard it's going to be. Why? Because when we watch people win, we can fantasize and go, man, potentially that's me. I could potentially do something like that. Yeah, I probably could have. And it makes us feel good. But then if I told you this story about how Aaron Rodgers, you know, didn't start playing high school or didn't start playing until his junior year in high school, started playing JUCO ball, barely made it to junior college ball, then got picked up by Cal, didn't start right away, then all of a sudden started doing well, almost didn't get picked up to the NFL, got picked up to the NFL, sat behind Brett Favre for years. Brett Favre, basically, if you watch some of the documentaries, Brett Favre just hazed him and harassed him for like 3 or 4 years. He kind of had a shitty upbringing. Favre did not think it was his responsibility to get him ready for the NFL, but the guy stayed in and just put in the reps, did the freaking work. He didn't come out. He wasn't the LeBron James coming out of high school and starting right away. That's not his story. But nobody wants to hear about how it took Aaron Rodgers 15 years of getting his ass kicked to just get an opportunity to start for the Green Bay Packers. Nobody wants to hear that. Why? Because then you go, oh shit, for me to be great, it might take 15 years of ass whooping. Yep. It might take you that long. It might take you 25. Might take you 5. I don't freaking know how quickly you want to get it done. But it's not fun to hear about. It's not fun to hear like, oh, I suck now and I'm not going to be good tomorrow. Fuck. Sorry, trying to get rid of that word. Crap. This sucks. Jonathan, guarantee me in 2 years if I train every single day, will I be great? I don't freaking know, dude. Honestly, I don't. I know standards. I know statistics. I know what most people do. But I know some people, it takes a little bit longer. I know some people, it takes 5 years to do what 2 years, even though they put in 10% of 10 times the effort. Some people put in half the effort and it takes them a year. There's a little bit of luck, but luck only matters so dang much. And what gives you more luck is more opportunity. The more opportunity you put into something, the more opportunity you have to get lucky. The person who's never bought a lottery ticket has 0% chance of getting lucky and winning the lottery. The moron who buys one every week has a slightly higher odd. And no one correct me. I know how odds work. Just trying to paint a picture, damn it. Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Great call, first of all. And you said something that caught my attention, that you like to see people win. So that makes sense a lot to me, because I feel I was telling the other day to this crowd that I feel like we guys have grown up a lot with you guys. So I've been with you. I remember last year about the course for you.
Yep.
You were the one who closed me.
Got a course, came out, then you're coming back out to Tampa.
Exactly, bro. This is the second now that I'm going. So I feel like really glad about it. And I just wanted to let you know. So my question is regarding follow-up. When do you think, John, that is the proper time, like, to just give up, giving up on the customer? Like, you have received, like, no, you can come in tomorrow. I don't have the time right now. I'm not available. So you find the proper time, like, okay, I don't call him anymore. Once they say they are not interested into any car or any product that we can sell, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, so the first thing is I have to understand if not interested is a real not interest or if it's just a smokescreen. So by understanding the customer's wants and needs early on, and that's where the questions after a pattern interrupt help, I know whether I can help them or not. If they're, let's say you sell Ram pickups and they're 100% certain they're going to buy a Ford, money's not a factor, they don't give a shit, they bought a Ford for the last 50 years, grandpa bought a Ford, dad bought a Ford, great-grandpa was Henry Ford, they're only buying a Ford. Okay, dude, I don't know how Ram went out and conquested you, got your info, sent me it. I get it. You're not interested in a Ford. I'm not, or you're not interested in a Ram, like a smart guy. I'm not going to chase that guy down. Now, let's say the person is like, yeah, I'm comparing Rams, Ford, Chevy. We really want to start hauling our boat. We've got a Ram 1500. It's just, we want to go to the full diesel. We want to go to the 2500. We just need a little bit more power. It's a big old Malibu. I don't know exactly. Okay, when that person tells me they're not interested, I might give them a day. I might hit them 24, 48 hours. Hey, Mike, real quick. I know you told me 2 days ago you weren't interested. However, I had some important news that I had to get it to you just in case it sparks some interest again. Let me know if it does. Here's what's going on. My general manager literally sitting in a meeting this morning says, screw it. We're not waiting until the end of the month. We're doing the month-end deals now. Let's get ahead of the market. Let's shut this down. We want to have a record. So he's doing end-of-the-month deals. He authorized an additional $250K to buy trades right now. Is there any chance you're still in the market for that full-size pickup, or did you settle on something else? That's all I'm doing. So 24, 48 hours. So if I think like, son of a bitch, I missed something, then I'm waiting 24, 48 hours. I'm calling them with more energy. I'm calling them with more enthusiasm. I'm calling them with value. And I'm going to try to spark a light in them again. And remember this. When you're calling people over the phone, or like right now, I'm on a Zoom call. So for some of you that have met me, do I speak in person with this much intensity at all times? No. But here's the thing. When you're behind a phone or you're behind a camera, even if you're doing social media, remember the phone and the camera mutes like 20%, 50%, 80% of your energy. So you have to speak more direct and more energetic than you typically would because that phone call is going to mute it. So I'm not saying you've got to sit there and scream at them. I'm not saying you've got to be like yelling, standing on a desk. Like, if that's your personality, by all the means, freaking do it. It does work. But what I'm saying is don't call and sound dead. Don't call and sound like, hey, I'm just hoping you say yes because my life sucks and I don't have anybody else to sell a truck to and you're my only hope. Like, that's what most calls sound like. Call like you actually give a shit about them. Call like you actually give a shit about your future. Call like your kid's life is on the line and you've got to just pretend like you're acting for a moment. Give yourself a little pep talk. I pray, I don't care what it is. But call with some energy, call with some authority, call with some value, and make it seem like it's fun. Because I don't care what you say, every other salesperson is calling like they're trying to suck start a shotgun. And that's not fun to do. It's not fun to be around. So by just having a little bit of different energy, you're going to get some deals right there. But yeah, that's my answer to you. What else we got? Any more questions?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Anything else? Anything else? All
Hey,
right.
Jonathan, I got one real quick.
There you are. Where are you? There you are, Jaden.
So how would you handle those customers who kind of go into like, oh, is this like a, the engine, like what does this have? Like really go into depth on all the features and then they start getting carried away. What kind of pattern interrupt would you do to like break that away?
Shut up, nerd. And I give him a swirly. What do you sell? What brand?
Honda, Ram, Dodge Chrysler.
Okay. So unless we're talking Ram brand and we're talking 2500s or even the 1500s to a certain point, and they're not towing if they don't tow anything, nobody cares about the horsepower. What I would say is know it just enough. And if you don't know it, whatever. I would at least know if it's a V6 or a 4-cylinder and be like, hey, it's about 250 horsepower. It is a 6-cylinder, so it's the bigger motor. It's got enough power to get you and your family going up hills from stops. You're never going to have to worry about passing anyone. It's got all the freaking power in the world. or I would use it as a transition to test drive. You know, I don't actually know the horsepower top of my head, but I do know these Civics are freaking quick. Hey, real quick, I'm going to go grab the keys. We're going to take it out on the road. I want you to get up here. We'll go up to Shea. It's the 45 zone. And let's just pass a couple cars, see if it works for you. Sound fair? Because when someone starts asking you stupid shit like that, unless they're towing heavy, and if they're towing heavy, they're not asking you horsepower, they might ask you torque. What they're probably asking you is kingpin weight. They're probably asking you gross vehicle or gross total blah, blah, blah weight rating. Like, I used to sell trucks, and I don't even know that shit. Like, you can look that up. There are tools on the internet that you can put in all the information to. It really doesn't matter. I just bypass it. I'm using it as, hey, dude, let's go take one of these out. I don't know how much horsepower it is. I can't even actually spell horsepower, but I do know this. I know these new Accords are freaking torquey and quick. Let's go get one on the road so you can see it yourself. Sound good? I mean, I'm just straight up admit I'm an idiot. I don't care. And guess what? People buying a Honda Accord don't care about the horsepower. They really don't. Like, it sounds fun because, you know, they're probably older and their dad told them to ask it 80 years ago when cars had like 43 horsepower, so 62 was a big old swing. But in today's world, the inline four VTEC crap has more power than a V6 did 10 years ago. So most cars get up and go nowadays. They're not chugging and, you know, struggling to hit 65. Like, most of them will get there pretty quick. So, you know, if you're selling like Porsche and you're selling GT3s, like, okay, you're going to have to talk to some nerds about some numbers and whatever. But even then, most guys that are buying a GT3 and can spend 400 grand on a car, they already know the freaking horsepower. So they're not going to, don't worry about it. Bypass it. Use it as a reason to get a test drive. Use it as a reason to open a door. Use it as a reason to get to the next step in the sales process. But don't let it stumble you. And guess what? As a salesperson, it's okay to say, I don't know. Hey, I'm not going to make some shit up. I know these are freaking quick. Let's go drive some stuff. I don't know the actual number off the top of my head, but let me get it for you. And then while they're on the test drive and they're like, oh, yeah, this is quick. Guess what I'm doing on my phone? I'm Googling the freaking horsepower. Oh, by the way, to answer your question earlier, 253 horsepower in this freaking model here. Hey, get on it real quick. Let me see if you can pass this guy. Does that help, Jaden?
It does.
Good job, man. Don't let the customer out objection handle you. Anybody else? Anybody else? I've got all the answers today. We could solve world hunger, but no one cares that much. All we care about is handling objections. I get it. World hunger, we'll worry about it next week. All right, everybody, I appreciate you. If you are going to be in Tampa next week, look forward to seeing you. If you're not, you're crazy. Get your butt to Tampa. If you need a ticket, DM me. I'll freaking give you one pretty much. Anyways, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I think I got the Wednesday call in 2 weeks. If you need anything, hit me up on IG. If you want to train more with me, I do have a free school group. Shoot me a DM, Elite Jonathan Roberts. I'll shoot you the link to the school group. I do a Friday call every single Friday. Greg does a Tuesday call in that group every single Tuesday. So whatever y'all need, just, stay plugged in. There's so much information out there, so much areas that you could grow in. You just got to do the work. So keep kicking ass. We'll see you all soon. Later.